Scene 1, roll 3, take 1.
And action.
When you talk to people about slavery, all they think about is pre-colonial times with slave masters. A lot of people don't actually know that slavery is still alive and it's even far worse. For example, the slavery that goes on in today's world is at least 3 times bigger than the transatlantic slave trade in 400-year period. So the goal of this movie is to, first of all, raise awareness, to kind of give people a picture of what goes on in the dark, on the ground, and sometimes even in plain sight. Unfortunately, people think human trafficking is something you hear from afar. We interact with traffic victims every day.
He spoke of a time when people were taken to the markets and sold.
Grandpa also spoke about other things. His journeys through the world and the beautiful places to see.
This is perhaps the most challenging film I've ever worked on. For this one, we had close to 80 cast and crew on board. And boy, it was a nightmare managing that. We traveled to a couple of villages to look for people that would act as the slaves, people that would look the character. We found this abandoned factory, a brewery actually, and getting the permission to use the place for the film was the biggest challenge we had to face on this production. Tailored is actually not about fashion. The tailoring aspect of this film is basically a symbolism. It symbolizes how people's destinies are being tailored. So it's just like when you have a dummy does not talk, a dummy cannot move on its own. It only wears what you wear on it, and it only stays where you keep it. So the goal for this project is to, first of all, raise awareness, and then to kind of provoke those watching to know what goes on in preparing the victims of trafficking and the kind of inhumane treatment they have to go through